Welcome back to The Opposers, the channel where we don't tell you what to think. We just show you how the moment is being framed. And today's moment? Before we begin, let's set the stage. The Opposers is about more than a birthday. It's about the architecture of a life, the rise, the reinvention, the legacy. It's about the people who shaped culture, challenged norms, and left fingerprints on the world. Today, we step into the story of a woman who didn't just shape music. She shaped identity, culture, and the very idea of what a crossover icon could be. She turned joy into sound, fashion into language, and heritage into global pride. This is the story of Selena Quintanilla Pérez.
I don't know what to say anymore.
The blueprint of a star. Selena was born on April 16, 1971, at Freeport Community Hospital in Lake Jackson, Texas, a suburb of Houston. She was the youngest child of Marcela Ofelia Quintanilla, née Zamora, who was Mexican-American with some Cherokee ancestry, and Abraham Quintanilla Jr., a Mexican-American former musician. The obstetrician-gynecologist at her birth was future House of Representatives member Ron Paul. Selena was raised as a Jehovah's Witness. Quintanilla Jr. noticed her musical abilities when she was 6 years old. He told People magazine, "Her timing, her pitch were perfect. I could see it from day one." In 1980, Quintanilla Jr. opened his first Tex-Mex restaurant in Lake Jackson, Papagayos, where Selena and her siblings A.B. on bass guitar and Suzette on drums would often perform. The following year, the restaurant was forced to close due to a recession caused by the 1980s oil glut. The family declared bankruptcy and was evicted from their home. They then settled in Corpus Christi, Texas. Quintanilla Jr. became manager of the newly formed band Selena y Los Dinos and began promoting it to support the family. The name Los Dinos came from the band Quintanilla Jr. was a part of in the 1970s. They played on street corners, at weddings, quinceañeras, and fairs.
We never tried to stifle any of the things that we knew that were important to us. It was just like, go up on stage, go in the studio, go to rehearsals. We got to share that. We got to do it. You know, it wasn't like we had to do it. We got to do that together.
Known as the Queen of Tejano music, she is known for her contributions to popular music and fashion, which made her one of the most celebrated Mexican-American entertainers of the late 20th century. Media outlets called her the Tejano Madonna for her clothing choices.
I thank my band, Los Dinos, my father, Abraham, my brother, who's a producer of my music, and also my sister. Thank you for all the support.
After we recorded the live CD that we ended up winning the Grammy for, like, we just played this huge show. Like, the guys came over from the band afterwards, and we were all hanging out, and she was in and out of the room, you know, of our living room. And then after a minute, I went to go check on her to see if she was okay. You know, and I just remember, like, opening the door to the bedroom, and she's just kind of chilling on the bed, laying on the bed with a magazine, looking at stuff. I remember looking at her and just it hitting me. How cool is this? You know what I mean? That we get to do what we love to do together, play music, and then she can go off and do her thing over there, and I'm over here hanging out, but we're barely just that far away, you know, from each other. It was just one of those moments, I guess. I'm constantly amazed at the response her fans give her when something new comes out relating to her. The big thing for me was the MAC makeup release. The beauty stuff, what she was really into. It was a special moment for me, you know, to be able to share that with so many of her fans that came from so many different parts of the world, to be honest.
She also ranks among the most influential Latin artists of all time and is credited for catapulting the Tejano genre into the mainstream market. The youngest child of the Quintanilla family, she debuted on the music scene as a member of the band Selena y los Dinos, which also included her elder siblings A.B. Quintanilla and Suzette Quintanilla. In the 1980s, she was often criticized and refused bookings at venues across Texas for performing Tejano music, a male-dominated music genre. However, her popularity grew after she won the Tejano Music Award for Female Vocalist of the Year in 1987, which she won 9 consecutive times. She signed with EMI Latin in 1989 and released her self-titled debut album the same year, while her brother became her principal music producer and songwriter. Selena released Entre a mi Mundo, 1992, which peaked at #1 on the U.S. Billboard Regional Mexican Albums chart for 8 consecutive months. The album's commercial success led music critics to call it the breakthrough recording of her musical career. One of its singles, Como la Flor, became one of her most popular signature songs. Live, 1993, won Best Mexican-American Album at the 1994 Grammy Awards, becoming the first recording by a female Tejano artist to do so. In 1994, she released Amor Prohibido, which became one of the best-selling Latin albums in the United States. It was critically acclaimed as being responsible for Tejano music's first marketable era, as it became one of the most popular Latin music subgenres at the time. Jose Behar, of newly formed label EMI Latin Records, together with the new head of Sony Music Latin, watched Selena perform at the 1989 Tejano Music Awards. Behar was searching for new Latin acts and wanted to sign Selena to EMI's label Capitol Records, while Sony Music Latin offered Quintanilla Jr. twice Capitol's signing fee. Behar thought he had discovered the next Gloria Estefan, but his superior called Behar illogical because he had been in South Texas less than a week. Quintanilla Jr. chose EMI Latin's offer because of the potential for a crossover album and wanted his children to be the first musicians to sign to the label.
The 22-year-old performs with her husband, her brother, and her sister. And these days, Selena is singing anything but the blues.
So you must be pretty excited about everything that's being done here, huh?
Yeah, it's taking shape. This is just one big paint and body shop, and they sealed up these huge doors. Right here, they're going to make a recording studio, so we don't have to go out of town to record. We'll have a digital studio.
It's a family operation run by Selena, her brother, sister, and her parents. Her father makes the major decisions. Aunts and uncles even help out.
It's great. I think a lot of people, have this tendency to think that families can't work together, and I'm a firm believer that the Hispanic families are real tight. They seem to stick together, believe in real family unity. And you can see by our family, we work together really well.
This is where the Quintanilla family is creating its base of operations in Corpus Christi, an uncle's auto shop that's still being transformed, headquarters for their band and other performers they now manage.
Before Selena began recording for her debut album, Behar and Stephen Finfer requested a crossover album for her. She recorded 3 English-language compositions for the heads of EMI's pop division. Behar and Finfer's request for a crossover album was denied, and Selena was told she needed a bigger fan base to sell such an album. Behar thought EMI Records and the public did not believe that a Mexican-American woman could have crossover potential after Charles Koppelman denied the project. Selena released her self-titled debut album on October 17, 1989. The singer recorded most of the songs at Amen Studios in San Antonio, Texas. Sukiyaki and My Love were recorded at Sunrise Studios in Houston. Selena wrote My Love and wanted the song to be included on the album. Her brother, A.B., became Selena's principal record producer and songwriter for most of her musical career, though did not write the tracks Sukiyaki, Contigo Quiero Estar, and No Te Vayas. Sukiyaki was originally recorded in Japanese in the 1960s by Q Sakamoto. Selena used a translation into Spanish of an English version of the song by Janice Marie Johnson. Selena peaked at number 7 on the U.S. Billboard Regional Mexican Albums chart, becoming Selena's first recording to debut on a national music chart. The album performed better than other recordings from other contemporaneous female Tejano singers. In the same year, Coca-Cola wanted Selena to become one of their spokespeople in Texas. The jingle used in her first 2 commercials for the company was composed by A.B. and Chris Perez, the latter of whom had joined Selena y Los Dinos several months earlier as the band's new guitarist. Perez began having romantic feelings for Selena, despite having a girlfriend in San Antonio. After a trip down to Mexico with the band, Perez thought it would be best for them both to distance themselves, but he found that impossible and chose to try to build a relationship with her. They expressed their feelings for each other at a Pizza Hut restaurant, and shortly afterward became a couple. Perez and Selena hid their relationship, fearing Quintanilla Jr. would try to break it up. Selena released her second studio album, Ven Conmigo, in September 1990. 3 tracks from Ven Conmigo were released as singles: Ya Ves, La Tracalera, and Baila Esta Cumbia. The latter, a Tejano cumbia song, became one of Selena's most successful singles. Its popularity grew in Mexico, where a compilation album bearing the single's name was released there, which was certified platinum by the Asociación Mexicana de Productores de Fonogramas y Videogramas, AMPROFON, denoting sales of 150,000 units. A registered nurse and fan named Yolanda Saldivar asked Quintanilla Jr. permission to start a fan club in San Antonio. Saldivar had the idea after attending one of Selena's concerts. Quintanilla Jr. approved Saldivar's request. He believed the fan club would bring more exposure for the band. Saldivar soon became a close friend to Selena and the family, opening the fan club in 1991 and fulfilling the role of president. That same year, Salvadoran singer Alvaro Torres composed a duet he wanted to record with Selena. The song, Buenos Amigos, was produced by Enrique Elizondo and was released on Torres's 10th studio album, Nada Se Compara Contigo, 1991. Buenos Amigos peaked at number 1 on the U.S. Billboard Top Latin Songs chart, giving Selena her first number 1 single. The song's music video earned Selena and Torres 2 nominations at the 1992 Billboard Music Awards. The track was also nominated for Duo of the Year at the 1992 Tejano Music Awards. Biographer Deborah Paredes wrote that the track enabled Selena to tour the west and east coasts of the United States. According to John Lannert of Billboard magazine, Buenos Amigos was helped by increased airplay on regional Mexican and Tejano radio stations, which had previously dismissed Selena's recordings.
There was nothing that was going to stop her. As weird as that sounds, just certain forces of nature that you can't explain. I think she was one of them.
For Selena! They were not saying that!
Creating its base of operations in Corpus Christi, an uncle's auto shop that's still being transformed, headquarters for their band, and other performers they now manage. Even help out.
It's great. I think a lot of people, have this tendency to think that families can't work together, and I'm a firm believer that Hispanic families are real tight. They seem to stick together, believe in real family unity, and you can see by our family, we work together really well.
This is where the Quintanilla family is creating its base of operations in Corpus Christi, an uncle's auto shop that's still being transformed, headquarters for their band, and other performers they now manage.
This is going to be my dance studio. I've always wanted one. I always wanted to be a ballerina, too. But I think I'm a little bit too heavy.
And there's more at this complex, which keeps expanding.
Behind this door is where the band practices. When we want to learn new songs for the recording.
Selena's sister Suzette claimed to have caught Selena and Pérez flirting with each other and immediately informed their father. Quintanilla Jr. took Pérez off the bus and told him his relationship with Selena was over. Selena and Pérez continued their relationship despite Quintanilla Jr.'s disapproval. Selena's mother, Marcela, approved of their relationship. Quintanilla Jr. saw Selena and Pérez romantically together on the bus after he informed them of his disapproval. He pulled over, and an argument between him and Selena ensued. He called Pérez a cancer in my family and threatened to disband the group if they continued their relationship. Selena and Pérez relented. Quintanilla Jr. fired Pérez from the band and prevented Selena from leaving with him. After his dismissal, Pérez and Selena secretly continued their relationship. On the morning of April 2, 1992, Selena and Pérez decided to elope, believing Quintanilla Jr. would never approve of their relationship. Selena thought her father would have to accept them if they were married and would not have to hide their feelings for each other. Within hours of their marriage, the media announced the couple's elopement. Selena's family tried to find her. Quintanilla Jr. did not take the news well and alienated himself for some time. Selena and Pérez moved into an apartment in Corpus Christi. In interviews, Quintanilla Jr. expressed how he feared Pérez could be a machista, Spanish for a male chauvinist, who would force Selena to end her career and music goals, a move that prevented Quintanilla Jr. to accept Pérez as being suitable for Selena at the time. Quintanilla Jr. later approached Pérez, apologized, accepted the marriage, and took Pérez back into the band. A month after her elopement, Selena released her third studio album, Entre a mi Mundo, in May 1992. The album was critically acclaimed as her breakthrough album. The record peaked at #1 on the U.S. Billboard Regional Mexican Albums chart for 8 consecutive months. It was certified 10 times platinum by the RIAA for sales of 600,000 album equivalent units, while in Mexico, the album sold 385,000 units. Entre a mi Mundo became the first Tejano album by a female artist to sell over 300,000 copies. Selena was booked for a high-profile border press tour in Monterrey, Mexico, with music media figures in a meet-and-greet conference. At the time, Tejanos were looked down on as hayseed pochos among Mexican citizens. The singer's Spanish was far from fluent. EMI Latin executives were terrified about the singer's limited Spanish during the press conference for the album in Mexico. According to Petoskey, Selena played her cards right during the conference and won over the Mexican media after newspapers hailed her as an artist of the people. The newspapers found her to be a refreshing change from Mexican telenovela actors who were fair-skinned, blonde-haired, and green-eyed.
Then there's the room where they make their own promotional T-shirts. Plus a sewing room, clothes for Selena's new boutique.
Well, when I'm not performing or I don't have to do special TV things, I like to be like this, relaxed, just like anybody else. This is more for show. Right now, they're fixing to resand the floors. These are the original wooden floors that were in the home.
As for Selena's boutique and salon in Corpus Christi, it was still being worked on when we dropped by. The Tejano singer wants to explore her talents away from music.
The manicuring stations, you can see them right here, where they're going to be doing nails. Back here in this last room over here is going to be where they're going to be giving massages.
Play it, Ricky. What key was this in?
But of course her musical talents are enough for her fans, so she's working on a new album. She's practicing with her producer, who just happens to be her brother. The song is called Amor Prohibido, Prohibited Love. Selena's brother, A.B. Quintanilla, wrote it.
A lot of people take for granted that, oh yeah, it's it's Selena's brother, automatically he's going to get the songs, you know, and that's not the way that the record company's involved. And when you have record companies, you have to gain their trust as a producer and songwriter, that you are able to take care of one of their top-selling artists, and that's a lot of pressure, but it has a lot of great rewards also.
In May 1994, Live was named Album of the Year by the Billboard Latin Music Awards. At the 1994 Tejano Music Awards, Live won Album of the Year, while at the 1994 Lo Nuestro Awards, it was nominated for Regional Mexican Album of the Year. Live was certified gold by the RIAA for shipments of 500,000 copies, while in Mexico it sold 250,000 units. Selena briefly appeared opposite Eric Estrada in a Mexican telenovela titled Dos Mujeres, Un Camino. In 1995, she entered negotiations to star in another telenovela produced by Emilio La Rosa. She appeared in 2 episodes, which garnered record ratings for the series.
¿Sabes qué me estoy imaginando, Selena?
¿Qué?
¿Cómo se vería Lupe montando el toro?
Y no duraría ni un segundo arriba.
Bueno, por lo menos duraría más que Ramiro, de eso estoy segura, ¿eh?
Eso sí que no. Te apuesto que Ramiro dura más tiempo arriba del toro que Lupe.
¿Qué quieres apostar a que no?
Lo que quieras.
Si Lupe gana, me invitas a uno de tus conciertos. Y si gana Ramiro, yo te invito a mi casa en Suiza.
Trato hecho.
Tengo una idea.
¿A dónde?
Ahorita venimos. Vamos a ver si como roncas duermes, Ramiro.
¿Qué pasa,
Pasa que te vas a caer al primer segundo.
Piénselo. ¿A poco no será un muy buen espectáculo?
Sí, sería muy buen espectáculo, pero ellos ya lo saben.
No, pero ahorita se van a enterar.
Nosotros.
Creo que estas potranquitas tienen mucho que ver en esto, compadre.
¿Nosotras?
¿Qué pasa, Paola?
Bueno, la verdad es que Selena cree que Ramiro es mejor que tú.
Paola dice que tú eres mejor que Ramiro.
Yo le dije a Selena que tú duras más tiempo montado en el toro que Ramiro. Pero no, a mí se me hace que Ramiro te gana.
Para nada, Paola, por si no sabías. Ramiro no sabe montar ni perros.
Pues sí, pues Lupe se cae de los caballitos de la feria.
Ah, sí, pues eso lo vamos a ver.
Pues vamos a hacerlo.
Vamos.
Paola, Selena, ¿ustedes organizaron todo esto?
Sí, Selena y yo hicimos una apuesta. Pero yo estoy segura que voy a ganar.
No, yo voy a ganar. Y la verdad es que no quería el amor a primera vista. Y lo que estoy aquí adentro es algo tan emocionante, tan bonito. Y la verdad, no quiero que te vayas nunca.
¡Vamos arriba, vamos!
Sé que tienes un nuevo amor. Sin embargo, te deseo lo mejor. Si no encontraste yo sé perder, pero ay, cómo me duele, ay, cómo me duele.
That when that line got crossed, it just felt natural.
Amor prohibido murmuran por las calles, alegando, garganta, paso a pasito, no dejes de tambalear, garganta, poco a poquito, no lo vayas a dejar. Manos arriba.
We never tried to stifle any of the things that we knew that were important to us. It was just like, go up on stage, go in the studio, go to rehearsals. We got to share that. We got to do it. You know, it wasn't like we had to do it. We got to do that together.
Thank my band, Bozdinos, my father, Abraham, my brother, who's a producer of my music, and also my sister. Thank you for all the support.
After we recorded the live CD that we ended up winning the Grammy for, like we just played this huge show. Like the guys came over from the band afterwards, and we were all hanging out. And she was in and out of the room, you know, of our living room. And then after a minute, I went to go check on her to see if she was okay. You know, and I just remember like opening the door to the bedroom, and she's just kind of chilling on the bed, laying on the bed with a magazine, looking at stuff. I remember looking at her and just it hitting me. How cool is this? You know what I mean? That we get to do what we love to do together, play music, and then she can go off and do her thing over there, and I'm over here hanging out, but we're barely just that far away, you know, from each other.
Tejano superstar Selena Quintanilla Pérez has been shot.
The death that sent shockwaves throughout the country. Her biggest fan was arrested for murder.
In the days before Selena's death, Saldivar delayed handing over the bank statements and financial records by saying she had been physically and sexually assaulted in Mexico. Afterward, Selena again met with Saldivar in her motel room at the Days Inn in Corpus Christi. At the motel, Selena demanded the financial papers. At 11:48 a.m., March 31st, 1995, Saldivar got a gun from her purse and pointed it at Selena. As Selena attempted to flee, Saldivar shot her once on the right lower shoulder, severing the subclavian artery and causing a severe loss of blood. Critically wounded, Selena ran towards the lobby, leaving a 392-foot, 119 meters trail of blood. She collapsed on the floor as the clerk called the emergency services, with Saldivar still chasing after her and calling her a bitch. Before collapsing, Selena named Saldivar as her assailant and gave the number of the room where she had been shot. Meanwhile, Saldivar attempted to leave in her pickup truck. She was spotted by a responding police cruiser. She surrendered after a nearly 9.5-hour standoff with police and the FBI. By that time, hundreds of fans had gathered at the scene. Many wept as police took Saldivar away. Selena was taken to the Corpus Christi Memorial Hospital at 12 p.m. Her pupils were fixed and dilated. There was no evidence of neurological function, she had no vital signs, and was declared clinically brain dead. Dr. Louis Elkins, cardiac surgeon, arrived at Memorial Hospital and said he saw doctors making heroic efforts to revive Selena. They were able to establish an erratic heartbeat, long enough to transfer her to the trauma room, and began blood transfusions in an attempt to re-establish blood circulation after opening Selena's chest and finding massive internal bleeding. By the time Elkins arrived, an emergency doctor began massaging her heart after it had stopped beating. Elkins reported how all efforts were futile and said had he been the receiving doctor, he would not have made any treatments on Selena. He felt obligated to continue after the emergency room doctor made the decision to reanimate the singer. After 50 minutes of surgery, she was pronounced dead from blood loss and cardiac arrest at 1:05 p.m. Central Standard Time. She was 23 years old.